For you to be successful creating videos in 2024, there's not a lot of things you need, but there is a foundation you need to lay. Let's talk about it. Now, there's not a lot of things you need to spend money on in order to get started, but there are a few things you need. First things first, you need something to record yourself with. Right now I'm using a webcam here, but you just need a phone. A new modern smartphone will have a great camera in it that's more than enough for you to start creating your first course or promo video or whatever it is you're doing. You want to record from the rear facing camera, not the front facing camera. I see a lot of people that will do that, and what happens is you will almost look at the camera. It becomes very unnerving because people have a tendency to look at themselves when they record. What you do need though is a good microphone. I have a Yeti microphone here in front of me that's been great. It's been treating me for years now, but you can also just invest in like a USB microphone. You've seen the ones that you can kind of clip on your clothes, and that's a great place to get started because if people can't hear you properly, they will tune out. And next up, make sure that the background you have is just somewhat decent to look at and it's not too noisy and not too many things going on. And you need to make sure that you're in frame, right? And the way you do that is you place your phone either in a stand, you can buy that, or you just need to place it up against something, press record, run in front of the camera and see, am I in frame and can they hear me when I'm standing here? Stop after 5 minutes, come back to it and see what you created. And you want to make sure also that you're lit up as the front person, right? The one that needs to be in focus. So it's pretty light outside right now still, but I have my ring light here in front of me that's helping me being lit up. I would love to face the camera or face a natural source of light like the windows, but I'm not able to in my current setting here. But if you are, that would be preferred. Like if you have a window in front of you, it just makes it so much easier for you to make sure that you're actually lit up from the get-go, unless it's nighttime and then you gotta have a lamp, but you know what I mean, right? On top of that, I want to make sure that you understand you need a few people to give you some advice, right? If you can make your first like 10-minute video, go ask friends, family, whoever you have around you to take a look at it and give you advice on how you can improve. And know that from the get-go, you're not going to be comfortable on camera. Most people aren't. I'd say almost even like the most experienced actors will never feel 100% comfortable on camera, but it gets easier over time. We also have the fact that you can edit what it is you record. And we'll talk a bit more about editing tools here later on in the video, but just know that I didn't do this in one take. I had several takes where I kind of stumbled and bumbled and I said some things wrong and I didn't feel like I got the message across the way I wanted to, so I went back and recorded, and you saw I just made a mistake there, and I'll leave that in just for the sake of it. But you can edit out bigger mistakes and make sure that that doesn't stay in the final product of it. You can also edit the sound. You don't have to have these big moving graphics and all of that if you're trying to teach a subject. Of course, there are certain subjects where that matters more. But most of the things that people are trying to learn, they can learn from just having somebody being great at teaching the subject because they themselves are knowledgeable on it. And know that again, right, when we were in school, that some of them had the clicker at the slides, but most teachers would just stand and talk from a book. So don't get too caught up in that. And I'm sure that if you need that within your courses, you can either pay somebody else to do it or you would know it yourself and you'll be able to do it. But for most of us, it's not a necessity. And then we can talk about like script writing. As I said, I usually do several takes, but I do have bullet points and I have an idea of what it is I need to say in the video. Some people go much more in depth with their script writing and have like fully on written scripts, and they have like the teleprompter that you can install softwares for here where you can sit and read off. I feel like oftentimes people's eyes kind of go from side to side when they do that unless they're really experienced in it, so I'm not a big fan of it. I'm much more comfortable with the fact that I can edit it afterwards if I mess something up completely. Which leads me to the next part of the video, which will be me talking about some free tools that can get you going and can help you in the beginning. And know this, your first many videos probably are gonna be not very good, to say it nicely, and you're gonna feel like you can always improve upon something, and that's the beauty of it. Just know that's how it works, right? You put a video out and you want to improve upon it. You learn something new with editing and you want to do it in the next video, and that's how it's gonna be. So just know that your last video will always be worse than your current video, and that's the gift and the curse of creating content. So some free tools that I'd advise you to use are Canva for graphic designs. This is an awesome tool that has thousands and thousands of templates ready for you to use already, whether that be thumbnails or social media posts or list building or whatever it is. There's something in there that you can grab and template for, edit it, and make it your own. And even if you're not an experienced or talented graphic designer, it gives you enough to work with to get started. And then in time, you can pay somebody to do that for you, just like the video editing, all of this here. But in order to get started for free, Canva.com is a great option for you. You have some other tools if you're a bit more skilled. So like Photopea and GIMP are both tools that are kind of like, it's like Photoshop, but not exactly Photoshop. But if you have the skill set to do that, then there's two other tools that I feel like you should feel comfortable of diving into. Another one then that you need to know how to do is editing, even just on a basic level. And the preferred tool that I would advise you to use is CapCut. I'll put the links of all of these into the description, by the way. But CapCut is a great starter place. It has a bunch of templates again. It's very easy to learn, and there's a ton of videos on YouTube that'll get you positioned and ready to use it on a basic level. You can master the tool like any other tool, but to get started, CapCut is probably what I would advise you to dive in with. Another one would be DaVinci Resolve. It's a bit more heavy duty. They have a free option and they have a paid one as well. The paid one you can do a lot more with, but the free one is pretty robust. So if you feel comfortable diving in with that, then DaVinci Resolve is something that I definitely feel comfortable advising you to use as well. Then for storing and promoting, if you have products that you need somebody to make a transaction with and you want to sell them to, so you have videos and all of this content you're creating on social media, but you actually have a product in mind, that whether it's a digital product you've created or you have a course or maybe you do coaching, there's a platform called Learners HQ. Full disclosure, this is me and my business partner who have created this platform, and Learners HQ is a result of us being beyond frustrated with the tools that were out there for us when we started creating content and started earning money online, whether we sold on Etsy or Amazon or Redbubble, or if we made videos or if we had courses. It was always such an uphill battle to try to find a tool that wouldn't fleece us with their subscription prices, or if we had somebody that did a profit sharing model like Learners HQ is, then they would take the lion's share of our profits. And it always just left us with a bad taste in our mouth, knowing that we created all these things and these products, and when it was all said and done and we made our sales, this platform or these subscription-based companies were just taking the vast amount of our profits. So Learners HQ is a result of that. It's a platform where you get all the features off the bat. All features in the future will be free as well, but you can create digital products on there. You can create courses or coaching, and we have a marketplace for courses. We have a marketplace for digital products, and it's all free for you to use. It's a profit sharing model where we make sure that you are gonna walk home happy with more money in your bank or more money in your pocket than any other platform out there. So that's what I'm gonna advise you to use as far as a platform to make transactions on. Sure, there are other out there, but I'm gonna point you to ours, quite frankly, just because I know it's gonna be the best option if you're somebody who wants to get started for free. And the next thing I want to jump into then are a bit more of like just my experiences and my business partners' experiences of things that we feel like have become really valuable, but I can make a whole video on each subject, which I probably will. But just to let you know that once you start this whole journey and you start diving in with this and you feel comfortable enough, don't hold back on engaging with other creators. So on YouTube, go on their videos, put comments into them, and give all these things that you want to get back from people and start networking with them. Then all of a sudden, what you find out is you guys might work together and you have these great video ideas, because what happens a lot with creators is they work in a silo and they don't really get out much and they don't get to hear outsiders' perspectives or even their peers on how they can improve. So it's something that's really invaluable for you if you start networking as a core focus when you get started. And even if you're all new, put comments into this video about I'm just getting started and here's how you can reach me, or here's my social media handle, and have somebody else reach out to you so you guys can join forces. Then that's something I feel like is going to be invaluable for you as you go forward. On top of that, keep a feedback loop. Like, make sure that you talk to other people, but also engage with the ones that actually engage on your videos and ask them for advice and feedback on how you can improve, and keep coming back to it and even revisit old videos to see what was it that was said back then. And it all becomes like this place for you to just find content and keep making videos. I also want to talk about ChatGPT. There is a gazillion videos on it already. Use it as a sparring partner. We've made some videos on our website where you can see some of the prompts that we've created and the persona we've created, but I use this tool a lot for idea generation, for headline creation, for pure course creation setup. I've created a prompt for that, but it is so versatile if you use it as a sparring partner and really know how to talk to it. So make sure you also take advantage of like the AI wave that's happening. Don't get overwhelmed. Just know that ChatGPT is one of the tools. You can talk to it like a friend, get advice from it, get it to make like matrices, lists, and so forth. And it's a great opportunity for you to really get new perspectives on content that you can create. And then finally, it's important that you keep showing up. Consistency wins this race. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Keep showing up, keep improving, take on advice from other people, implement it, and make your next content better. Be honest and transparent about what it is you're doing in your social media post, and that's going to attract the right audience to you. And remember, this is not about creating like a platform or a base where you get thousands and hundreds and thousands of fans. That can be a byproduct of what you're creating, but the real money for most of you guys that are thinking about creating a course is actually niching down and finding your core audience and making sure that you have maybe 1 or 2 or 3 things that you're an expert on and you can solve for them, or maybe you just have more knowledge than other people on it. And you can always answer that with different stories and different videos. And that's going to be far greater for you as far as monetizing your products and pointing them to a platform like ours to actually convert the audience that you've created by creating these videos. Is much easier if you have a niche down audience than you trying to go out and hit everyone at once. And that's why for this video here, I'm talking to the very beginners, the ones that want to get started and the ones that has almost no knowledge on where to start. It was you guys I had in mind when I made this video, and also the ones of you that's probably bootstrapped, like you're on a budget. You were like the ones that I thought of, like how can I make a video to help them that's relevant in 2024, and it's a video that I thought or could have hoped that was there when I got started. And that's why all of the products I've talked about are free to use. Sure, I talked about our product, but it is free to use. And what I want to help people with is to get started, lay the foundation, use tools that are free at your disposal from the get-go, and then you grow as time goes and you'll be able to invest in bigger and better things, and hopefully the audience you have along on your journey will be able to grow with you if you do it correctly. And I'll finish it with that. I'm Martin. It's been nice talking to you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.